more?
These are people who basically are dysfunctional personalities. They basically have no personality, nor any talent, and they assume the persona of Elvis Presley and try to make a living at it.
Is that where the danger lies, those two things when they meet? No personality, no talent?
Exactly right.
Perhaps give me the rest of the profile of someone who would be susceptible to this. Now, I would think they would be much like serial killers, white male.
Well, it's not restricted to men, although they tend to be so far the majority of the profile, but I've seen female Elvis impersonators.
Yeah.
I've seen one of the most chilling, children who are Elvis impersonators. I personally witnessed the performance of an 8-year-old Elvis impersonator.
Who do you kill?
It was really sad. It was pathetic.
This must wreak havoc with the family, then.
Absolutely. It like any kind of addiction or abusive behavior, it just tears the family apart. The family becomes enmeshed in this problem, and of course, it's aided by the fact that you have codependents and enablers.
Now, is that a technical term, enabler?
Yes, this is someone who allows the obsessive behavior or the addictive behavior to take place. In this particular case, women, wives, girlfriends, tend to be the enablers in this case. In fact, they've become a subculture of their own, what we call PPIs.
PPIs?
Priscilla Presley impersonators.
That is horrible. I would think that, boy, that the side effect would be just the hairspray inhalation alone.
Exactly right. Exactly
but I also
right.
see another insidious side there where that would be people could impersonate different members of the king's family. That Grandpa could be Vernon.
Exactly right. Exactly
Lisa
right.
Marie.
Exactly right. We had a case where there was an uncle who thought he was Colonel Tom Parker.
What are the warning signs of this horrible disease?
Well, we developed a questionnaire, questions you can ask yourself or a loved one if you think there's a problem in your family. Do you or a loved one lose time from work or school doing Elvis impersonations? Has your Elvis impersonation jeopardized your job or schoolwork? Probably the most insidious one, do you find yourself spending hours on end in front of a mirror doing an Elvis impression alone?
What a horrible image that is.
Yes.
You've described the disorder. Tell us about the solution. There is hope.
There is hope, very definitely. That's why this organization exists. First of all, it's coming to recognize and admit to the problem, getting out of the denial phase of it, finding the wherewithal to say, I have a problem, I want to get help. That's what we're for. We're also the support group to help people achieve the inner strength to get out of this endless cycle of music and abuse, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And most importantly, as far as we're concerned, is after you've hit those two steps, to seek out anyone you've ever entertained and apologize to them.
This could be time-consuming. One performance at the Palomino could be 600-800 people.
Well, we're not that concerned with numbers. It's the idea behind it.
I understand. How, Carl, you give so generously of your time. How did you get involved in this fine organization?
Well, I'm sorry, let me correct that. I am a recovering Elvis impersonator.
I find it very hard to believe. You look nothing like him. You seem so well-adjusted.
There's the proof. Me at my low point.
You are jiving. Are you kidding me? This is you?
That's me.
We have to get in tight on this. This is horrible. This looks like Nicolas Cage on a bender.
Just shows you how bad it can get.
I'm impressed. What is it you have over here? You have some things to show us?
Well, yes, this is some of the physical evidence, the accoutrement, if you will, the paraphernalia of the typical Elvis impersonator. The wig, the sideburns, the sunglasses, of course. Usually there's an attendant scarf, and generally a belt from the 70s period just before his demise.
You see these things around the house, a loved one may be in trouble.
Absolutely.
Well, I could see this right here. Hun, getting a little thin on top, think I'll spend $1,500 on an Elvis wig.
Yeah, it's, honey, you'll love me in it, wait till you see. It's that kind of justification, rationalization, if you will.
Carl, how did it start for you? A dare?
No, it was simpler than that. It was just a party, a simple impression at a social function.
You decided to do the King because he was popular?
Oh, no, not at all. I started with Ed Sullivan.
Ed Sullivan. I see the connection, the psychological connection.
Absolutely.
Elvis got his start on Ed Sullivan.
Exactly right. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Boy, you know, Ed's been gone such a long time, you don't hear very many good Ed Sullivan impressions anymore.
No demand for it.
Were you good? Were you pretty good at it, or?
Well, I was good enough to allow myself to be sucked into this maelstrom.
Could I prevail on you to do just a couple of seconds of Ed, so, for our younger viewers?
Oh, no, not at all. That's tantamount to putting a drink in front of a recovering alcoholic and saying it's just a sip.
Surely you're strong enough to do just a couple of seconds to entertain our younger viewers who might not remember Ed. Be good, folks. Ah, come on,
I probably
Carl.
shouldn't, but
Ah, come on. Just
none
one.
of the staff are around.
Just one.
Probably couldn't hurt just a little bit. I haven't done this in a long time, you must understand. Let's see, Well, thank you and good evening. Welcome to our show. We have some fine performers for you here tonight. They'll be out here in just a moment. Comedian Rodney Dangerfield, the Chinese acrobats, the Russian bear.
That's great. Thank you, Carl. That'll be enough. Now, if
see,
somebody
this is
needs to get a hold of you.
No, this is exactly the kind of problem that I anticipated. Now, see, I've started
Cut
this.
it out.
Now I can't stop.
Now, if there's
no,
just a
you don't
phone-
understand how serious it is. I can't stop doing this
Just
stupid
quit it.
impression.
Just
now.
quit it.
I
Should
can't
be
just
easy.
quit it.
Just
If I could
quit.
just quit, I wouldn't be sitting at this desk, could I?
Cut,
Somebody
Roger,
help
just
me.
cut it.
This is your
Just cut.
fault, you
This
know.
is not-
If you hadn't asked me to do this impression, I wouldn't be in this mess.
Cut.
Somebody help me, please.
You weak
Can I get my
willed
medication?
creep. Get a hold of
If I could just get somebody get me an Addison, all right? Or my Kate Smith blow-up doll, anything.
Is this country big enough for two great cities, New York, Los Angeles, the feud? Well, there apparently is some friction between the two cultures. And by God, we want to put an end to it. So we've gone out, we've bought ourselves the best minister of culture we could get. We got that round-trip plane ticket to New York. Here he is, all the way from the East Coast, to give a perspective on our culture. Mr. Bill Slimely, I believe it is, our bi-coastal minister of culture.
Pleasure to be here.
How are you doing?
Oh, hello, Mikey. How you doing? Mikey, how are you doing? You don't look so good. I gotta tell you.
Fine, I'm doing just
Do you
good.
really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I wouldn't look good either if I'm out here in that right field in Los Angeles. You know, it's a ball game, but there's no action. I don't know what I'm doing
Well,
out
I've
here.
never heard L.A. be called.
Huh? What do you got? What, you got
before.
showbiz?
Well,
Huh? You got your Pacific Rim.
Uh-huh.
You got your Pacific Stock Exchange.
Yes, we
Oh,
do.
that's a big operation, isn't it? I got relatives in Jersey doing bigger numbers than the people at the Pacific Stock
That's
Exchange.
really true. Well, you know, I like
gotta
Los
tell
Angeles.
you,
It's a nice
Captain
place, yeah.
Cook, that's who I feel like when I come out here.
Is what?
I gotta give trinkets to the damn natives out here. I'll tell you.
It's not really
way
that
off
bad,
base.
is it?
Hey, I'll tell you something. L.A. really stinks. Last night I wake up, I go out in the middle of the night. I don't know why. There's nothing to do. I run into a bum on the street. I don't mean to digress, Mikey, my good friend. But these guys, I don't know. He comes on me with the Miami Beach suntan. He's looking all good. But you know, back in New York, we don't even call them homeless.
Well, we like to say homeless. These people
We call
aren't
them bums. They're
Well, they're
real
not
bums.
These people
huh?
have their own
Oh, what are they?
problems.
Residentially challenged, my friend?
Well, it's a social problem.
I gotta
We all
tell
have
you,
them.
when I'm hungry, I go out, I get a little pizza. Am I right? Back in New York.
Sure.
A man can dine on pizza in New York, Mikey.
Yeah.
He's dined and he's gone to heaven back there.
Well, we have good
out
food
here.
out
What do
here.
you got? Oh yeah, good food. You got your goat cheese. Am I right?
Well,
you
sure.
put grapefruit on it. You got your tofu on this stuff. Where do you get a good piece of pizza out here? The criminals are good out here. The drive-by shootings, huh? They don't look you in the eye. Back in New York, it doesn't even qualify as a death. I'm not sure they even notify the family, my friend.
You know, East Coast style.
Hey, let me tell you
Glad we got a
something.
round
It's
trip
not a
ticket.
class death, my friend. What about this
anything you like
this
out
guy
here?
King? Am I right?
Oh,
Back in New
dredge
York,
that
I
up.
get a problem with the cops. I slip out of Hamilton. Out here, your Mr. King does that. Let me see, 20 bucks a pop, 14, the 280 bucks, and this man makes the problem go away. He goes
Go
to the
home.
mat. I
Now, why
gotta
don't you
tell
just
you.
go home?
Oh,
You're an
yeah,
East
well, I'll
Coast
tell you, I'll
user.
go.
You're an
I got a
East
date
Coast-
with one of your Los Angeles girls out here. She's got quite a set of chops, my friend. Oh, she is something. But I gotta ask you a question. Where's the factory where they suck the brains out through the implants,
Okay,
guys,
that'll be
Mikey?
about enough. I'm glad we
I
got a
gotta
round
tell
trip
you,
ticket.
I feel like sticking around. Am I right?
Well, I hate to see you
Hey,
going.
I'm
It's
having
been
some fun.
Thanks for the
Huh?
creative
I love it.
input
I'm
on
gonna
how we
grab
can
the red
improve.
eye back to
We'll see you
New
later.
York. Thank you
We'll see
very
you.
much.
That's fine.
Thank you.
But I don't know. I just can't take very much of those guys. It's East Coast slime. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest makes me a very excited person because, look, his life started in the Soviet Union somewhere. He took a wrong turn, and he ends up where? He ends up on Mike's Inferno. What's he going to be doing here? Showbiz gossip. He's got it all for us. If it's dirty, if it's rumors, he's got it. Let's welcome, for the first time on Mike's Inferno, Grisha with Showbiz Gossip. Come on out here.
Hey, Misha, how are you doing?
Grisha, how you doing? How are you? How are
nice
you?
to
How
be
are
here.
you?
Nice to be here.
How are you, Grisha? Showbiz
Hello,
stuff.
Hello.
You know, I happen to know what your previous job was, and I think our audience might get kind of a kick about it if you just went ahead and told him. Tell him what you used to do for a living.
Well, with pleasure. I was a KGB operative here in Southern California.
KGB operated in the Southland?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I mean, a lot of aircraft work here. What, Northrop, Lockheed?
No, it's more like Lucky Supermarket, you know, produce section and special wax and fruit, you know.
The wax on the fruit.
Oh, yeah, we'll get more information from there.
Grisha, how did you get involved in show business gossip? This seems like quite a leap from the KGB to the showbiz rumor mill on a public access show.
You see, of course, I understand I was a spy, but then when the Cold War ended, you know, I found myself out of work.
Yeah.
I didn't like that, so I got this show business thing report going for me. So.
Well, you got to make a ruble, I guess.
Oh yeah, the ruble is a ruble, you know. So it's, you know.
Tell me what you have for us. We're just waiting for the showbiz dirt. I hope it's dirty and filthy, and I hope these rumors make my hair stand on
my
end.
friend, I had to use big connections, I tell you right now. For example.
Okay, here we go. We're ready. Grisha and showbiz gossip.
Ladies and gentlemen, the big news, the big news. Oh, wait for that.
Okay.
Stage, screen, and TV top grossing female star of the 80s and 90s, Molly Michelle, has been kidnapped by aliens from outer space who have brainwashed the American public into forgetting that she ever existed. Huh?
Who are you talking about?
Molly Mitchell. You see, you've been already through this process. You've been processed, my friend. As an expert, I can tell you, you've been processed. It's wonderful.
Maybe you have another showbiz rumor item for us, Grisha.
Somebody who we really good, we know him really good. Actor-comedian Robin Williams has so much excess body hair that he is insured against spontaneous combustion.
Insured against spontaneous combustion?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Well, listen to that. He could go up any minute.
Burst into flame?
Of course. It's scary. He is a walking fire hazard. You see, he has been asked to never visit the hills outside of Santa Barbara again. Can you imagine that?
That's chilling. How does he bear that cross?
Oh, you know what he is? The most important, the biggest thing?
Tell me.
He's a Kuwait oil field waiting to happen. Can you imagine? Oh,
Maybe you have more gossip for us. Keep
it's
going.
great. Okay. I have a question. I have a real question for you, okay? Many soap opera stars do not use soap.
No?
What do they use? You know that?
What?
Oh, I had to use many, many connections. They use zest instead. Hey, man. It's
Fantastic. No, that's good. Well, I can see where the spy stuff is paying off for you. You weasel in, you find this stuff out.
You know, the spy reporter is the same thing, you know.
I understand.
So,
what else do you have for us?
okay, ladies and gentlemen, Madonna secretly visits Marilyn Monroe's grave. You know that?
She visits Marilyn Monroe's grave?
Where she continuously with Marilyn. She talks about things like makeup advice, you know, next career move. You know that? You didn't know that?
Madonna talks to Marilyn Monroe?
Of course you don't know, yeah? So far, Madonna is doing all the talkings. Of course, and we heard that we have wonderful recorders, you know. And it seems the original bombshell. She knows how to keep her lips sealed.
Marilyn's not talking.
Oh, yeah, no way.
Tell me more.
This might be a little shocking for you, but that's...
Folks, we're running out of time, and we're going to say goodbye here on Mike's Inferno, but Grisha, I want you to keep going, and I want you to come back with more of this gossip. Thanks for tuning in, folks. See you next time. Tell me about what, Jim Morrison?
Yeah, the rock star Jim Morrison, he's not really dead.
Not dead?
No, he's not. No. I'm going to get